Every great achievement begins as a simple dream, a thought that whispers, "What if?" Dreams are not just ideas floating in our imagination. They are the seeds of possibility that can shape our future. But dreaming alone is never enough. The world is full of dreamers, yet only a few turn their dreams into reality. The difference lies in the willingness to work for it, to persevere when the path gets tough, and to grow into the person capable of carrying that dream to completion. We often look at successful people and admire their achievements, but what we don't see is the sweat, sacrifice, and struggle behind those moments of glory. Every dream demands a price: patience, discipline, and an unshakable belief in yourself. Life doesn't give you what you wish for. It gives you what you work for. When you align your actions with your aspirations, magic begins to happen. However, even as you work, remember that growth is not just about reaching the goal. It's about becoming the kind of person who deserves that goal. The journey is as important as the destination. Growth happens in the quiet moments of failure, in the lessons learned from setbacks, and in the courage to try again when everything seems lost. You don't just chase a dream, you evolve with it. So dream it with all your heart. Work for it with all your strength and grow into it with all your soul. Because dreams are not meant to be chased forever. They are meant to be lived. Every dream begins as a thought. Before anything magnificent ever takes shape in the real world, it first exists in the quiet corners of the mind. The greatest monuments, inventions, and movements all started as invisible sparks of imagination within someone who dared to think differently. A thought may seem small, but it holds infinite potential. It is the blueprint of creation, the seed that, when nurtured, can grow into something far beyond what we can imagine. Yet, most people underestimate the power of a single thought. They believe that greatness is reserved for a chosen few, not realizing that every successful person began exactly where they are, with a simple thought that refused to fade away. When we allow ourselves to dream, we give our mind permission to explore what is possible beyond our current circumstances. The mind is like fertile soil. Whatever thoughts we plant in it will eventually grow. If we plant seeds of self-doubt, fear, and limitation, we will reap hesitation and regret. But if we plant thoughts of hope, courage, and purpose, we will harvest confidence, inspiration, and progress. The way we think determines the direction of our life. Thoughts are not just fleeting ideas, they are the architects of destiny. A positive, powerful thought can shift the course of one's entire life, while a negative one can destroy even the greatest opportunities. Think of every invention or discovery in human history: the airplane, the light bulb, the internet. Each of them was once laughed at or dismissed as impossible, but someone dared to hold on to that thought long enough to see it come alive. It's not the size of the dream that matters, but the strength of belief behind it. Dreams start small, a faint idea, a passing curiosity, a gentle whisper that says, maybe this could work. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people choose to protect that thought. They nurture it with belief, feed it with effort, and defend it from doubt until it becomes real. It's important to recognize that the quality of your life is deeply connected to the quality of your thoughts. You cannot think small and live big. The universe responds to what you constantly think about. If your thoughts are filled with fear and negativity, your actions will reflect hesitation and self-sabotage. But if your thoughts are filled with hope, gratitude, and vision, your actions will radiate confidence and purpose. The outer world is only a mirror of the inner world. When you change your thinking, your reality begins to shift as well. However, dreaming isn't just about daydreaming or fantasizing. True dreaming is an act of courage. It means daring to imagine something that doesn't yet exist and believing in it, even when no one else does. The world might call it impractical, but every breakthrough has been born from what others once called impossible. It takes faith to dream in a world that constantly reminds you of your limits. It takes vision to see beyond the present and look at life not for what it is, but for what it could become. So when you have a dream, don't dismiss it as just a passing thought. Treasure it, because it may be the voice of your higher self guiding you toward your purpose. Let that thought grow roots in your mind and heart. Write it down, visualize it, and speak about it with conviction, because one day, that small thought you once entertained might become the reality you proudly live in. Every dream truly begins as a thought, but only those who value that thought enough to act upon it ever see it blossom into greatness. Dreams require clarity. A dream without clarity is like a ship without a compass. It may sail endlessly, but it will never truly arrive anywhere meaningful. Many people have dreams, but they are often vague, scattered, and undefined. They say, "I want to be successful," or "I want to be happy," but they never stop to ask themselves what success or happiness truly means to them. Clarity gives direction, purpose, and focus to our dreams. Without it, we wander through life reacting to circumstances instead of consciously creating them. The clearer your dream, the stronger your motivation becomes, because clarity transforms a wish into a vision and a vision into a mission. When you know exactly what you want, your energy becomes aligned. The mind, heart, and actions begin to move in the same direction. But when you are unclear, you waste time and energy chasing distractions that do not serve your higher purpose. Think of the sun's light. It warms everything it touches, but when that light is focused through a magnifying glass, it can start a fire. Similarly, clarity focuses your mental energy into power. It turns ordinary effort into extraordinary achievement. You stop scattering your energy on trivial pursuits and start channeling it toward something meaningful. Clarity also helps you understand why you want something. The why behind a dream is often more important than the dream itself. When you know why you want something, that reason becomes your fuel. It keeps you going when challenges arise, when motivation fades, and when people doubt you. A clear purpose gives you emotional strength. It helps you make better choices, say no to what doesn't align, and stay focused even when the world around you becomes noisy. Without clarity of purpose, it's easy to get lost in comparison, to follow other people's paths, and to forget your own inner calling. Many people struggle not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they have not defined their vision. They wake up each day reacting to whatever comes their way. But those who live with clarity wake up each day with intention. They know what they are working toward and what steps to take. Even when progress is slow, they remain centered because their direction is fixed. A clear dream doesn't mean every step is visible. It simply means you know where you're headed, even if the road ahead is uncertain. To find clarity, one must take time to reflect. Silence, solitude, and self-awareness are essential. You cannot find clarity in chaos. Step back from the noise of the world, social media, opinions, expectations, and listen to the quiet voice within you. Ask yourself questions. What truly matters to me? What kind of person do I want to become? What am I willing to work and sacrifice for? The answers to these questions will bring light to your path. Once you define your vision, write it down. Speak it often. Let it become a part of your daily thought process. The more you focus on it, the clearer it becomes, and clarity attracts opportunities aligned with your goal. Clarity also brings peace. When you know what you want, you stop wasting energy comparing your life to others. You no longer chase after things that don't belong to you. You learn to say no to distractions with confidence because your yes has meaning. Clarity simplifies life. It separates what is essential from what is not. You move from confusion to confidence, from hesitation to purpose. Dreams that are clear in the mind become powerful in reality. The moment your dream stops being a vague desire and becomes a defined goal, the universe begins to align everything in your favor. Because clarity doesn't just show you where to go, it transforms you into the person capable of getting there. Action turns dreams into reality. A dream without action is like a seed left unplanted. It may hold endless potential, but it will never grow into anything meaningful. Many people live their lives talking about what they want to do, what they plan to achieve, and how they wish their future to look. But life doesn't reward intention alone. It rewards consistent effort. Action is the bridge between imagination and manifestation. Without it, even the most beautiful dreams remain trapped in the realm of wishful thinking. The moment you take the first step, your dream begins to breathe, and the universe starts to move with you. Every person who has ever accomplished something extraordinary understood one simple truth. Thinking is important, but doing is essential. You can plan, visualize, and prepare endlessly, but unless you take concrete steps, nothing changes. Some people wait for the perfect moment. the right opportunity, the right timing, or the right mood. But perfection is an illusion. The right moment rarely arrives. Progress belongs to those who act despite uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision to move forward even when fear whispers, "You're not ready." Action doesn't have to be grand or dramatic. It can begin with something as small as making a list, starting a conversation, or practicing your skill for 15 minutes a day. Small actions done consistently create momentum. Momentum, once built, becomes unstoppable, just as a tiny stream can carve through rock over time. Small efforts can lead to monumental changes if maintained with persistence. It's not about doing everything at once, but about doing something every single day that brings you closer to your goal. There is also immense power in imperfect action. Many people are paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. They overthink, analyze, and wait until everything feels certain before moving. But action, even imperfect action, teaches more than endless planning ever could. You learn by doing, by trying, failing, adjusting, and improving. Every step you take gives you feedback. Every attempt refines your understanding of what works and what doesn't. Success is not a straight line. It's a winding path of trial, error, and persistence. The lessons you gain from action shape your growth far more than any amount of theory ever will. Action also builds confidence. When you take steps toward your dream, you begin to trust yourself. You start to see progress, however small, and that progress fuels motivation. Self-doubt fades when you see tangible evidence of your own effort. The more you act, the stronger your belief becomes. Confidence doesn't appear out of nowhere. It's earned through consistent action that proves to your mind that you are capable of making things happen. Moreover, action attracts opportunities. When you move, life responds. People notice effort. Doors open. Connections appear, and unexpected help comes your way. The universe aligns with those who are in motion. It's as if life rewards those who show they're serious about their dreams. You cannot wait for opportunity to knock. You must create it through initiative. When you act, even when the outcome is uncertain, you send a message to the world that you're ready to grow. And the world, in turn, begins to support your journey. Taking action is also a test of commitment. Anyone can dream, but few are willing to work through discomfort. There will be moments of fatigue, doubt, and discouragement. But true commitment is revealed in persistence. The choice to act even when the results are not immediate. Those who endure the longest and act the most consistently eventually rise above those who only wish and wait. Dreams do not come true by magic. They come true through movement. The path to success is built step by step through effort, dedication, and an unbreakable will to keep going. The dream is the vision, but action is the lifeblood that turns that vision into something real, visible, and lasting. Challenges are not roadblocks but training grounds. Life in its wisdom does not hand us success easily. Every obstacle, we face is not there to stop us, but to shape us. Difficulties are not signs that we are on the wrong path, often. They are confirmation that we are on the right one. When a dream begins to grow, challenges appear like tests from the universe, asking, how much do you really want this? They come not to punish, but to prepare, not to weaken, but to strengthen. The truth is, growth cannot happen in comfort. Just as fire refines gold, challenges refine character. When we encounter obstacles, our natural reaction is to resist or complain. We think, why me? Why now? But with a shift in mindset, we can see that these moments are opportunities disguised as difficulties. Every challenge carries a hidden lesson, a lesson in patience, resilience, humility, or courage. The ones who rise above their struggles are those who learn to extract wisdom from pain instead of drowning in it. When you see challenges as teachers rather than enemies, life starts to change. You no longer see yourself as a victim of circumstances, but as a student of experience. Consider how nature teaches us this lesson every day. A seed must break open to become a tree. The caterpillar must struggle in its cocoon before it can fly as a butterfly. Without the struggle, there is no transformation. In the same way, the challenges we face are part of our spiritual and emotional evolution. They stretch us beyond our limits and help us discover strengths we didn't know existed. The moments of pressure, frustration, and struggle are shaping you into the person your dream requires you to be. It's easy to stay calm when everything goes smoothly, but true strength is tested when life doesn't go as planned. When things fall apart, that's when character is built. Every setback is a silent invitation to grow stronger, wiser, and more patient. The path to any meaningful goal is rarely straight. There are turns, delays, and detours, but each one adds depth to your journey. The pain of the present often carries the wisdom of the future. One day, you look back and realize that the challenges that once hurt you the most taught you lessons that became your foundation. We live in a world that glorifies success but hides the struggle behind it. Every success story has pages filled with failure, rejection, and perseverance. The people who inspire us the most are not those who never face difficulty, but those who refused to give up when things got hard. They understood that each challenge was preparing them for the next level of life. You cannot skip the training and expect to win the race. Challenges are like the gym for the soul. They build emotional muscle. Sometimes, challenges appear to slow us down, but in reality, they are aligning us with a better version of our path. The delays, the disappointments, and the failures are not wasted time. They are divine timing. They teach us patience, gratitude, and faith in the unseen. The struggle is not separate from success. It is part of it. When we begin to see difficulties as necessary teachers, we stop resisting them and start growing through them. So, the next time life challenges you, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what is this teaching me? That single change in perspective transforms frustration into fuel, pain into purpose, and obstacles into opportunities. Every challenge is a silent mentor guiding you closer to the person you are meant to become. The path may be hard, but every step through difficulty builds the strength required to carry your dream to completion. Consistency beats intensity. In a world obsessed with quick results and overnight success, we often forget the quiet, powerful magic of steady effort. Many people start their journey with great excitement, full of energy and enthusiasm, but soon lose momentum when progress feels slow or invisible. The truth is, success is not built on one grand act of effort, but on small, repeated actions performed with dedication over time. It's not what we do once in a while that defines us, but what we do consistently. The real power lies in showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is the difference between a wish and a commitment. Anyone can dream, anyone can start, but few continue when the excitement fades and the hard work begins. When you are consistent, you create habits, and those habits eventually create results. It may seem slow at first, but consistency compounds over time. Just like water slowly carving through rock, steady effort, no matter how small, creates a lasting impact. Every little step matters because each one builds upon the last. You may not notice progress daily, but one day you will look back and realize how far those small, quiet steps have taken you. Think about how nature works. The sun rises every morning without fail. Rivers flow continuously, and the seasons change predictably. Nature's strength lies in its consistency. Similarly, the people who achieve greatness in any field, whether it's art, sports, business, or spirituality, are those who stay committed to their practice, regardless of how they feel on any given day. They understand that motivation comes and goes, but consistency keeps them grounded. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for perfect weather before you start a journey you may never begin. Instead, discipline, the willingness to act even when it's uncomfortable, is what turns ordinary effort into extraordinary success. Consistency builds trust, both with yourself and with others. When you keep promises to yourself, when you follow through on your word, you strengthen your self-belief. You begin to trust your own ability to persevere, and that confidence becomes your foundation. The world also begins to trust you because reliability creates respect. People may not always be impressed by talent, but they are always inspired by persistence. A consistent person becomes dependable, and dependability is a form of quiet strength that opens doors in every area of life. The beauty of consistency is that it doesn't demand perfection. You don't have to be the best every day. You just have to show up. Progress isn't about doing everything right. It's about doing something meaningful again and again until it becomes a part of who you are. There will be days of frustration, failure, and fatigue, but consistency doesn't mean never falling. It means never quitting. Each time you rise after a setback, you reinforce your commitment and grow stronger from within. Small, consistent efforts eventually bring massive transformation. Reading a few pages every day leads to knowledge. Practicing a skill daily leads to mastery. Saving a little regularly leads to wealth. Praying or meditating consistently leads to inner peace. The key is not speed, but steadiness. Fast progress can fade just as quickly as it comes, but consistent progress builds a foundation that lasts a lifetime. Consistency is a quiet force. It doesn't demand attention or applause, but it transforms everything it touches. It teaches patience, discipline, and faith in the process. While intensity burns bright and fades fast, consistency glows steadily, lighting the way through every dark and uncertain moment. The greatest achievements in life are not born from one powerful effort, but from the hundreds of small, unseen actions that no one notices, except the one who never stops showing up. Failure is a stepping stone, not a dead end. Every person who has ever achieved something meaningful has walked through the valley of failure. Yet most people fear failure so deeply that they avoid taking risks, preferring the comfort of safety over the discomfort of growth. What they don't realize is that failure is not the opposite of success. It is a vital part of it. Success is built upon a foundation of lessons learned from mistakes, disappointments, and setbacks. Every failure carries within it a hidden gift wisdom. The only real failure is the failure to learn, to rise, and to try again. When we fail, it often feels like the end. The heart aches, the mind fills with doubt, and the spirit questions its worth. But in truth, failure is only a mirror reflecting what needs to be improved. It doesn't define who we are. It refines who we can become. The pain of failure teaches humility, patience, and resilience, qualities that cannot be developed in comfort. It reveals our weaknesses not to humiliate us, but to help us grow stronger. Life's most valuable lessons are rarely taught through victory. They are learned in moments of defeat, when we are forced to look deeper into ourselves and find the courage to continue. Think of the most successful people in history. Behind every triumph lies a story of repeated failure. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before inventing the light bulb. Walt Disney faced countless rejections before his vision came to life. Each of them could have given up after their first setback, but they chose to interpret failure differently. They saw it not as a stop sign, but as a signal to adjust their approach. This mindset is what separates those who reach greatness from those who give up too soon. Every failure is feedback. It tells you what doesn't work, so you can find what does. Failure also tests your commitment to your dream. When everything goes wrong, when plans collapse, and when people doubt you, the question becomes, do you still believe in your dream enough to keep going? If the answer is yes, then failure is doing its job. It's purifying your vision and strengthening your determination. It removes the superficial desire for easy success and replaces it with a deep, unwavering purpose. The fire that burns after failure is stronger, steadier, and more real. Moreover, Failure humbles the ego. It reminds us that we are human, that perfection is an illusion, and that every success story is written with chapters of struggle. Without failure, success would lose its value. The contrast between defeat and victory is what makes achievement meaningful. When you fall and rise again, you gain not only results but also character. You develop empathy for others, patience for yourself, and gratitude for every step of progress. It's important to remember that failure is temporary, but giving up makes it permanent. Every time you fall, you are being given a choice to quit or to grow. Then, the choice you make in that moment defines your destiny. Growth begins the moment you decide to learn instead of lament, to rebuild instead of retreat. With each failure, your perspective matures. You begin to understand that failure is not a punishment, but preparation. It is life's way of strengthening you for the bigger opportunities ahead. So instead of fearing failure, embrace it as part of your journey. Every stumble is proof that you are moving, that you are trying, that you are alive. Each fall teaches you balance. Each setback teaches you strength. The path to success is not a straight road, but a series of failures that slowly lead you forward. Failure is not the end of your story. It is the chapter that makes your story worth telling. Faith fuels your journey. When the path gets dark, when the road feels endless, and when every step seems heavier than the last, faith becomes the light that keeps you moving. It is easy to move forward when everything is going right. But true faith reveals its power when nothing seems to work. Faith is not blind optimism. It is the inner strength that whispers, "Keep going. Something greater is waiting." It gives you the courage to walk through uncertainty, trusting that each step, no matter how small, is leading you towards something meaningful. In life, there will be moments when your efforts seem invisible, when your progress feels slow, and when your heart questions whether it's even worth it. In such moments, faith becomes your anchor. It reminds you that even when you can't see the full picture, there is a greater design unfolding. Just as a seed must remain buried in darkness before it grows into a plant, sometimes life requires you to trust what you cannot yet see. The delays, the detours in thee, and the disappointments are all shaping you into someone capable of handling the success you've been praying for. Faith also builds resilience. It allows you to stand tall when life tries to bend you. Every setback becomes a test, not of your strength, but of your belief. When you keep faith alive in hard times, you build emotional and spiritual muscle. You stop seeing problems as punishments and begin to recognize them as part of your preparation. Life's most beautiful transformations often come disguised as struggles. Faith teaches you to see beyond the present pain and trust the process. Sometimes, faith requires letting go of control. As humans, we crave certainty. We want to know how things will work out. But faith asks us to surrender the how and focus on the why. It's about believing that your efforts have meaning even when results are delayed. It's about walking forward even when the map is unclear. Faith is the quiet confidence that the same force that started your journey will also guide you through it. You may not know the way, but you trust that the way will reveal itself at the right time. Faith also brings peace in chaos. When life feels overwhelming, faith tells you that everything happens for a reason, that even pain has purpose. It silences the noise of fear and replaces it with the calm of trust. Fear looks at the mountain and says, "It's too high." Faith looks at the same mountain and says, "One step at a time." It changes the way you view challenges, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow closer to your purpose. Moreover, faith keeps hope alive when circumstances try to destroy it. It reminds you that no storm lasts forever. Clouds may hide the sun for a while, but they cannot erase it. In the same way, hardships may block your vision temporarily, but they can never take away the light that lives within you. When you hold on to faith, you are telling the universe that you refuse to give up, that you believe in your journey, even when you don't understand it. Faith also has a ripple effect. It inspires others. When people see you walking through difficult times with strength and serenity, they begin to believe in their own ability to do the same. Faith isn't just personal, it's contagious. It becomes a source of light for those who have lost theirs. In the end, faith is what connects your dreams to your destiny. It is the bridge between where you are and where you're meant to be. It gives you the patience to wait, the strength to work, and the courage to continue when logic says to stop. With faith in your heart, you don't need to see the entire staircase. You just need to take the next step, trusting that the ground beneath you will appear. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. The company you keep has a profound influence on the person you become. The people around you can either lift you higher or pull you down. They can ignite your dreams or extinguish your fire. Just as a plant needs the right soil to grow, your mind and soul need the right environment to flourish. You cannot expect to grow when you are surrounded by negativity, complacency, or doubt. The energy you absorb from others shapes the way you think, feel, and act. That's why it's so essential to build your circle wisely with people who inspire, challenge, and push you to become your best self. The truth is, growth requires a supportive environment. If you surround yourself with people who only complain, criticize, or settle for mediocrity, it becomes difficult to maintain your motivation and vision. Their mindset begins to influence yours. Slowly, without realizing it, you start lowering your standards, doubting your potential, and limiting your goals. But when you spend time with people who are positive, passionate, and purpose-driven, their energy fuels your own. You begin to think bigger, act bolder, and believe more deeply in what's possible. The right people don't just cheer for you. They hold you accountable, remind you of your worth, and encourage you when you lose faith in yourself. Growth minded people are those who see potential in progress rather than perfection. They don't judge mistakes, they celebrate effort. They understand that failure is a part of learning, not a mark of weakness. When you have such people in your life, you feel safe to take risks, to explore new ideas, and to evolve without fear of being ridiculed. They inspire you not through competition, but through example. Their success doesn't intimidate you, it motivates you. Instead of envy, you feel admiration. And instead of comparison, you feel connection. Sometimes, surrounding yourself with growth-minded people also means making difficult choices. It means distancing yourself from those who drain your energy, even if they've been part of your life for a long time. It's not about judging others, but protecting your peace. You cannot heal, evolve, or create new possibilities while holding on to environments that keep you stuck. Growth requires space for new conversations, new perspectives, and new energy. When you let go of negativity, you make room for inspiration. A supportive circle doesn't just push you towards success, it helps you stay grounded. Growth-minded people remind you of your values when pride or pressure tries to take over. They celebrate your victories, but also guide you with honesty when you lose focus. They keep you balanced between ambition and gratitude in a world full of noise and distraction. Having a circle that values growth, integrity, and authenticity is like having a compass that keeps you aligned with your true path. Surrounding yourself with the right people also nurtures emotional strength. When challenges come, their faith in you becomes your shield. They see potential in your struggles and remind you that setbacks are temporary in there. Their encouragement can reignite your motivation in moments when you feel lost. Sometimes, all it takes is one supportive voice to silence the noise of 100 doubts. The right people don't necessarily change your path. They strengthen your steps. In the end, your circle shapes your mindset, and your mindset shapes your destiny. If you walk with dreamers, believers, and doers, you begin to mirror their energy. You learn to see possibilities where others see limits. The people around you are like mirrors. They reflect the person you are becoming. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with those who make you want to learn more, love more, and live more fully. Because when you walk with people who are growing, you cannot help but grow too.